Good morning students. Today we will discuss about the d block elements. The elements in which last electron enters into d orbital or d subshell are called d block elements. And the d block elements in which the d orbitals are partially filled are also called transition element. So if we see the position of the d block elements, they are in middle. And they are in between s and p block elements. So actually they are also called transition elements, and if we see the position in the periodic table, these d block elements are member of 3rd to 12 groups of periodic table, or if we see the long form of periodic table, so they all are member of B subgroup. The general electronic constant of d block elements is n-1 d 1 to 10 and ns 0 to 2. If we see the electronic constant of transition element, so the d orbital should be what? Partially filled. So that is n-1 d 1 to 9, ns 0 to 2. That is the electronic constant of transition element. So if we follow this definition, the zinc, cadmium, mercury, they are not considered as transition elements. They are d block elements, but they are not transition elements because their d orbitals are fully filled. If we see the constant of zinc, that is having 3d10, and for cadmium it is 4d10, and mercury it is 5d10. So the d orbitals are completely filled, so they are not considered as transition element. Now we can divide all the d block elements into these 4 series. These are 3d series, 4d series, 5d series, and 6d series. The 3D series, actually, these are the elements in which the last electron enters into 3D subshell or orbital. And in 4D series, the electron enters into 4D subshell. In 5D, the electron enters into 5D subshell. And in 6D, electron enters into 6D subshell. So, if we see the number, there are 10 elements in each series, if we see. So, the number of members are more than 35. Because last series we see it is incomplete, and in 3D, 4D, and 5D series we have what? 10 elements in each series. These are the elements. In 3D series we have scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, and zinc. In 4D series we have yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, gold, silver, Ag, and cadmium. And next in 5D series we have lanthanum, hafnium, tantalum, tungsten, rhenium, osmium, iridium, platinum, and gold, Au, and mercury. And in last series we have the members from the atomic number 104 to 1012. We can give IUPAC name for them. Now there are some general properties of d block elements. So first one, that is atomic radius. So if we see the atomic radius, if we move from left to right, so you know there is increase in the atomic number, so there should be decrease in the atomic size. But due to screening effect or inner d electron, there is not so much decrease in the atomic size in d block elements. Now next, melting point. So actually if we see the melting point, initially the melting point increases, and then again the melting point decreases, because the melting point depends on the number of bonds between the atoms. As number of unpaired electron increases, so number of bonds also increases, and if the number of unpaired electron decreases, so number of bond decreases. So if we see initially there is increase in the number of unpaired electron when we fill the electron in d orbital, you know, d1 to d5, and then there is pairing of the electrons, so number of unpaired electrons decreases. Okay. Now next, IP. You know, IP is the amount of energy which is required to remove the most loosely bonded electron from what? Gaseous isolated atom. So actually IP also depends on atomic size and also the atomic number. So if we see in this series, if we move from left to right, so you can see that there is increase in the atomic number, so there should be what? Decrease in the atomic size, and there should be increase in the ionization potential. But there is not so much increase in the ionization potential from left to right, because there is again screening effect which is working there. Now next, metallic character. If you see all these elements, they are basically metals, and they show various type of close packing like CCP, FCC, and BCC. Mercury, which is in liquid state, so it shows the particular specific type of packing. Now, next, oxidation state. if we see these elements show variable oxidation state. So what is the reason? Actually, they have partially filled d orbital. So due to this partially filled d orbital, they show variable oxidation state. It means in this, the s electron and d electron, they are also participating in bond formation. So if we see in 3D series, so initially from left to right, if we move, there is increase in the oxygen number and then again decrease. Why? Because initially there is increase in the unpaired number of unpaired proton, and then after pairing is being, so actually there is decrease in the number of unpaired electron. Okay, so we can see that this manganese showing highest oxygen number, that is +7. Okay, and the zinc show only +2 oxygen state because it has what, 3d10 electronic configuration, and after you go to 2 electron it becomes stable. Now next, catalytic property. So you know these d block elements actually show catalytic property. They can increase the rate of reaction. The oxides are generally used, you know, there is contact process of formation sulfate in which we are using V2O5. Okay, and there is Haber process in which we can use what, metals as iron. So these d block elements actually are used as catalysts because they have partially filled d orbital, and due to this property they can form complex. They have complex formation tendency also. So due to this character they are used as a catalyst. Now next, magnetic behavior. So you know there are 3 types of magnetic behavior are there, that is dimagnetic, paramagnetic and ferromagnetic. So if you see iron, cobalt, nickel, they are what? They are ferromagnetic. They are strongly attracted towards what, magnetic field, and the magnetic property is actually expressed by the magnetic moment, and the formula, that is mu is equal to √ of n in bracket n plus 2, and the unit is Bohr magnetron. So the example I have shown here, suppose we have Mn plus 2 ion, you have to ask that you calculate the magnetic moment, so you will use this formula. So what is the electron value of Mn plus 2? That is 35. So we have 5 unpaired electrons. So n is here number of unpaired electrons. So when you keep the value here, you can calculate the value of mu, that is √35 bm. Okay, so you may be asked such question. You may be given some ion and you are asked to calculate the magnetic moment of that ion, and also calculate the number of unpaired electrons. Now next, complex formation tendency. I explained you that the d block elements form complex. Actually complex is you can say combination of central metal cation and ligand. Ligand are the molecules which can donate the lone pair. There are different types of ligands such as monodentate, bidentate, polydentate. Okay, so we can see one example. Suppose we have this one, FeCN6 minus 3. That is an example of complex. So in this Fe, that is what? Fe plus 3, that is a central metal ion, and Cn negative, that is acting as a ligand. So due to partially filled d orbital or vacant orbital and small size or high charge density, the d block elements can form complex. Okay, that is the reason why they are forming the complex. Now next, interstitial compound. Basically what are interstitial compound? You know there are some elements which have smaller atoms like hydrogen, carbon and nitrogen. So these atoms enter into the interstitial space of crystal lattice of these d block elements, and they can form what? Interstitial compound. So interstitial compound are compound which are formed by the water occupying the interstitial space in crystal lattice by small atoms like hydrogen and carbon. So different hydrides like carbides like TiC, titanium carbide, and VH 0.5, that is vanadium hydride. So they are example of interstitial compound. Okay, and due to formation of interstitial compound, the hardness also increases. So actually they are basically non-stoichiometric compound. They are not stoichiometric. Now next, alloy formation. Now you all know what is alloy. Alloy is a homogeneous mixture of 2 or more than 2 metals like bronze and bronze. So actually the d block elements have almost same size. There is no more change in the size due to screening effect. So due to same size they form complex. So this topic is finished. Thank you.